Hi, my name is Marion Kalmer, and I'm a farmer from Western Illinois, and I'm also the founder and the owner of Kalmer Corn Heads. In the late 90s, I started growing corn in 15-inch rows, and in combination with the use of BT genetics, I was getting quite a bit of corn stalk residue in my fields, and in fact it was becoming a problem whether I was doing conventional tillage or no-till. So they always say that necessity is the mother of invention, and so at that point in time I decided to try to build a new stalk roll that would chew up those BT corn stalks and help us accelerate Mother Nature's decomposition during the fall, the winter, and the spring, so that by the time we got there next spring, we'd be ready to plant. And so over time, we have developed the BT chopper. And we have been working with several models of corn heads, and we have invented a kit that will upgrade corn heads and actually improve the performance considerably. So today we're going to talk about upgrading the Gleaner corn head. And in the kit that we have for the Gleaner corn head, we have the BT chopper stalk rolls, and we also have from the conventional to the multi-zone stripper plate that will allow us to do a better job of husking and reduce the butt shelling. So the two major components, stalk rolls, stripper plates for the Gleaner head. So let's talk a little bit about the limitations of the existing equipment. The Gleaner stalk roll comes with C channels. There's 3 of them that are bolted to each one of the stalk rolls. And they're all the same length and they're all the same height. And during rotation at 800-900 RPMs a minute, those overlapping and intermeshing flutes basically create a solid wall of steel. And as the corn stalk comes in, it's not able to penetrate or feed in between those flutes. So in our BT chopper, one of the things that we worked on was the receiving and the feeding area, and that is done with the spiral. We've redesigned it a little bit, but we've also used the spirals to feed that window. We know exactly when it's going to open, when it's going to be at its widest point, and that's going to allow us to get the stalk in there successfully regardless of the weather conditions that we may have. So I'm going to give you a little demonstration over here so that you can see exactly what we're talking about with the feeding chamber. We have a corn stalk that came out of a field. You can actually see a set of BT chopper stalk rolls, and as it rotates, you'll see it walk it right into the chamber. And then the 2 longest flutes with a wear bar on them are going to grab that stalk then and give us the traction that we would eventually need to implode it. So we back it out and it slowly walks on in, and right there is where we're going to be able to grab it. I often refer to this example as like a wood screw. Many of us have taken a DeWalt drill and you pull the trigger and the wood screw goes right in, and that's basically the same concept that we have there as well. So this feeding chamber is very, very important to the success of the stalk roll. Without it, we're never going to have that opportunity to go in and chew it up into confetti. So that's the upside to our stalk roll versus the OEM, is that feeding chamber. Now, once we're into the feeding chamber, now we have that ability to chop up the corn stalk into smaller pieces, confetti, shear it into 2 halves. And that's what the microbes are going to like, earthworms are going to like that, and it's just helping Mother Nature so that we can farm and we can get higher yields and make more money. So I'm going to be able to give you a demonstration. And you can also see here we have a set of stalk rolls. Now we've taken the spirals off, but I'm actually going to use a corn stalk. I'm going to turn it on here. We'll drop it in the top, and you'll be able to see it go down through. These flutes are razor sharp, and they are induction heat treated so that we get as much life out of them as possible. So the great thing that I like is that, number one, we're cutting the pieces so they're about 1.25 inches long, but better yet, we're shearing them into 2 halves. And if you look real closely here, you can see that the pith is opened up and the earthworms and the microbes are able to go in here. And this what really accelerates the decomposition. So the pieces are short, but they're also sheared into 2 halves. Now, the fact that they're razor sharp also gives us the unique ability to be able to handle the corn crop regardless of weather conditions. Some stalk rolls are weather sensitive. They're fair weather stalk rolls. This one here, it doesn't make any difference to me if it's bone dry, if it's at the beginning of the season and we're looking at green stalks, or if we're maybe toward the end of the season and we're starting to get some lodge corn, or we get a foggy day or a light misty rain, we're still going to be able to go out there and harvest. We're still going to have the feeding chamber, especially in down corn. We're going to be able to chew up that stalk with the razor sharp blades. So that's some of the things that we as farmers have worked on very hard, is to get this stalk roll to perform in all conditions. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the stripper plates, because that's the second part of this upgrade package. The limitations that I found with the Oem stripper plate is the rod, if you will, an electric fence rod that is welded onto the edge here. And to me, that actually amplifies the problem of butt shelling, because now on impact, this ear is all of the energy is going to be displaced on just basically one kernel. So that's a lot of load, and maybe even stress cracks into that kernel, and then eventually as it makes it through the machine, it will become cracks. So I'm not real fond of that idea. Number two, it is straight across here, and it's not going to allow leaves and husk to flow through very easily. Pinch point's a little far forward is where we gather the crop material into the row unit. And so I don't want to compress that area until it's necessary. So we took all of those things into account when we designed our multi-zone stripper plates. I spent a lot of time working with straight ones. I worked with beveled ones, and we decided to come out with a combo stripper plate. So in the front, we have a wider V, and we've all harvested down corn, and you realize how important it is to be able to bring that mass of dislodged material into the row unit to get it to feed in. So we've opened that up just a little bit. Gives me a little more room to wander back and forth during harvest if I'm dumping on the go. So there's some upsides to that. We've moved the pinch point on back a little further so we don't cram that crop together until it's absolutely necessary. The other thing that we've done here with the straight stripper plate is that as the gathering chain comes around, it's very close to that gathering chain. And so if it does start to plug, then the gathering chain's job is to shear it off and push it on up into the row unit. So that's another reason that we're straight in the front. Now, once we get into the area where we're going to come straight down, and we're going to start the implosion. Our window, our revolving window has closed, and the 2 longest blades have given us that 100% traction that we're looking for even on a damp day. And that stalk starts to come down, we're ready for it, because now the beveled area is going to kick in. And number one, with the leaves on a corn plant, they have a small arch on the bottom side. So that's going to allow that arch to straighten out. Hopefully we won't take as many leaves as we normally would as we go down through. Then eventually we're going to get to that ear of corn. Again, the beveled plate is going to allow the shank, the ear shank, which goes from the node to the cob right here. That area now is going to get a little bit deeper. Hopefully I can grab a hold of it with the stalk rolls, and not only will I separate the ear, but if I've got a good grip on that ear shank, I got a pretty good probability that I will husk that ear at the same time. So that's the reasoning behind the beveled stripper plate, is to give us better husking. And last but not least, I've got a rounded surface on the bottom of the ear. I've got a rounded surface here. When I decide to strip that ear from the stalk, I'm going to be able to displace energy a little bit better, therefore reducing the amount of butt shelling. Now also, With the revolving window and with our longer blades than the wear bar, once we grab that stalk, we don't have any slippage. Therefore, we can slow down corn heads, and over time, I've learned this at my own farm. I just don't need to run the corn head as fast as I used to. So once I get a good stalk roll in the row unit, I can slow the head down, and so now on impact, that ear is going a little bit slower on the way down, and so it doesn't hit and we just don't see the butt shelling. I always explain it, if you drop an ear of corn on the concrete floor in your shop, kernels are going to go everywhere. If you lay that ear of corn down on the shop floor, you won't have any kernels come off of it. So speed of corn heads is really important when it comes to butt shelling. Now, weather's going to be a player, but really speed is the most lethal to us when we talk about butt shelling. So, to summarize our kit, we think we've got a great upgrade here in the BT Chopper stalk roll feeding chamber, razor sharp blades. We think we've got a great upgrade here with the stripper plates, whether you're in down corn, standing corn, green corn. We're going to husk it better, and we're going to reduce the butt shelling. So hopefully the key benefits that you'll find at your farm if you put the upgrade kit in, on the mechanical side, you're going to see superior corn stalk engagement. You're going to get better ear separation. And if you own a stalk chopper, you won't need to use it anymore. Or if you've got a chopping corn head, you won't need that either, because we're doing as good, if not even a better job, turning it into confetti and opening the stalks up. Good wear life here, especially with this wear bar up here, because we know that's the blade that's going to catch the brunt of the load, and that's where we beefed it up to make it last longer. The less head speed, less butt shelling, less trash intake. All of those things are going to make my combine happy. All of those things are going to make me happy as a farmer during the day of harvesting. Now let's talk about some of the agronomic benefits. Now we're coming back next spring. We've got smaller residues, so it's going to decompose faster. And as it decomposes quicker, we're going to have more soil exposed. So I'm going to get drier soils. I'm going to get warmer soils. All of these agronomic benefits are now starting to kick in because I did a good job the previous fall at harvest. I've also noticed an increase in earthworm populations because the confetti residue, I'm feeding them during the off season. It's so much easier to plant, whether you're a no-tiller or a conventional tiller, because that residue is decomposing so much quicker out there in the field. So it's compatible with all tillage systems, and we're going to maximize your return on investment, and we get that nitrogen back into the soil. And if you're continuous corn, without question, this is going to be what I would consider the highest yielding stalk roll in the industry, because of that ability to come back corn on corn and get that yield advantage. Some of the university data that we're seeing now, continuous corn with this stalk roll is a 6 bushel advantage, continuous corn. So we're all farmers that work on building these kits for you, and so we want to tell you that this is all farmer invented, it's all farmer tested, and it's all farmer proven, not only by me, but the other thousands of farmers that use it throughout the United States. It has been voted Product of the Year by the American No-Till Farmers, and the economics, I believe, is important in today's ag economy. I absolutely have got to figure out how to make money in this style of growing and competing with all of the higher prices that are going on. I think this kit has a great return on investment, and I think it's a great place to spend some money and know that it's going to be something that's going to give you a return for many years to come. So with that, as always, we guarantee 100% satisfaction. And I don't know that you can find that anywhere else, but we're farmers and we back it up. If you do not like this kit when you put it on, it doesn't do what I just said it would do, you call me on the phone and we'll refund your money. So we have a 100% money back guarantee. I hope that you'll call us get a price estimate, price quote from us. Our main office is 309-629-9000. You can visit our website at calmercornheads.com. And last but not least, I'm always available if you'd like to send me a text message or call me on my cell phone at 309-368-1182. With that, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch our short video today.